a tribute to the faces that shaped a generation of feeling. The moment Leonardo DiCaprio stepped onto the Titanic, it wasn't just Rose who fell in love. We all did. Maybe it was music. Maybe it was the way he looked at her, or the way we wish someone would look at us. Or maybe it was the last time movies made us feel something that stayed. The 1990s didn't just give us stories, they gave us pieces of ourselves. One, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks didn't need to shout to be heard. In Forrest Gump, he reminded us that life is messy, unexpected, and still full of wonder. When he said, "Life is like a box of chocolates," we didn't just hear it, we believed it. Then, he embodied simplicity, honesty, and a kind of decency that felt rare even then. Now, in his 60 years old, Hanks continues to lend his voice and legacy to meaningful projects like The Bloody Hundredth, 2024. No major roles are announced for 2025, but he doesn't need them. He's already part of the emotional furniture of our lives. 2. Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio, with a single glance, made millions believe in impossible love. Jack Dawson wasn't just a character, he was a moment you lost. Then, he was the golden boy of tragedy and charm, reckless and real. Now, he's an Oscar-winning actor and fierce environmental activist. Soon to star in One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, September 2025, proof that even icons evolve. 3. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt, the beautiful storm of Legends of the Fall, wasn't just admired, he was the man you once thought you might fall for, or raise. Then, he was freedom personified, raw, wild, and magnetic. Now, at 62, he remains timeless both in charm and relevance. With Apex, a Formula One-themed film due in 2025, Brad shows no signs of slowing on-screen or off. 4. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves in The Matrix barely spoke yet, said everything. His quiet strength reminded us that bravery doesn't always roar. Then, he was the lone figure walking into the unknown. Now, revived through John Wick, and appearing in Ballerina, 2025, and Sonic 3, Keanu remains the rare star we trust not because he's loud, but because he's real. 5. Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington, in Malcolm X and the Hurricane, reminded us that dignity doesn't need applause, it just needs purpose. Then, he was weight, power, principle. Now at 70, he remains one of cinema's true elders. Newly ordained as a minister, and starring in Gladiator 2 and Spike Lee's High and Low, 2025, Denzel continues to carry the weight of stories that matter. 6. Julia Roberts. Julia Roberts had a smile that stopped time. In Pretty Woman, she wasn't just a character, she was every woman who ever wanted to be seen for who she really was. Then, she gave the dream of love a face. Now, with selective roles and a focus on family, she remains queen of the genre. Her last film was Leave the World Behind, 2023, and while no new projects are confirmed, her legacy needs no sequel. 7. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder was the ache we didn't know how to name. In Reality Bites and Girl, Interrupted, she became the voice of a generation quietly unraveling. Then, she was the outsider we understood even if we never said it aloud. Now, as Joyce Byers in Stranger Things and Lydia in Beetlejuice 2024, she proves that melancholy, when honest, never gets old. 8. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, Our every woman, the one who waited in while you were sleeping and reminded us that stillness doesn't mean weakness. Sometimes it means hope. Then, she was the best friend you rooted for. Now, at 60, she's chosen to step back and grieve her longtime partner. No new projects announced, and maybe that's her most courageous role yet. 9. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore, the girl who grew up too fast and still found her joy. Then, she was resilient in motion, falling, rising, laughing through pain. Now, as host of The Drew Barrymore Show, entering season 6, she's the realest she's ever been, and maybe that's what we needed most. 10. Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer, all elegance and fire. In Dangerous Minds, she taught more than students she taught us, that strength sometimes whispers. Then, she was fierce, layered, unforgettable. Now, after her Marvel turn in Quantumania, 2023, and modeling for Saint Laurent in 2025, she remains a symbol of quiet power. No roles were announced, but her presence speaks louder than any script. These actors didn't just play roles. They held space for us. They showed us what we were afraid to feel, and sometimes, what we already were. Every time you rewatch a film from that decade, you're not just revisiting a story, you're finding yourself. The version who dared to hope, who wept without apology, who believed in something big and beautiful and real. And if even one face in this list made you pause, maybe this isn't just nostalgia. Maybe it's a reminder, a memory worth sharing, a feeling that hasn't left you. If it stirred something in you, send this to someone who was there too, because memories are the only things we can give away without ever losing them. If this reminded you of someone, a sister, an old friend, someone who once held your hand in a cinema seat, send it to them. Memories don't just belong to us. They become real again when shared. Who would you watch these movies with if you could go back just one evening? Tag them, message them, or just say, "Remember this?" Which face took you back the most? And which moment never really left you?